Welcome back to the Spanish Pavilion, everyone. This is Ryan Fasan, technical consultant for Tile of Spain, here talking to Jordi from Realonda today in the Tile of Spain Showstoppers. How you doing, Jordi?
Good, Ryan. How are you doing? Everything fine?
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I wish I was doing this on the show floor in the Spanish Pavilion with you, but unfortunately, I think we're all kind of still dealing with some challenges. And
correct.
Yeah, so we're coming to you digitally at coverings as you're walking around the Spanish Pavilion here, talking to a bunch of the manufacturers to give you just a little snapshot of what's going on with them, what kind of novelties they're coming out with, and that's what I'm talking to Jordi about today. And I'm really excited to talk about Realonda. It's a very unique factory that has a great perspective on ceramic tile, and digital optimization has been something that's been very big for you in terms of your product development direction. What kind of emerging technologies and things are you doing digitally to improve the kind of products that you're making for 2021?
Yeah, well, actually, we have been working hardly on this kind of things because finally we need to be a bit different from the rest of the competitors always. So this year we have been working with a new digital machine, actually, where one of the 3 factories in Spain that we are doing some tests with a new machine, inkjet machine, that actually the idea is that we can get for the end of this year the first productions of tiles where the glaze and not the inks is done with an inkjet machine. So that's something that the industry has been searching and running after for many years now, because as you know, only with inks you sometimes cannot find the right strong colors on the tiles because of the quantity of ink that finally you can apply with the inkjets. So actually we're working quite hard with a Karate company, and as I say, we have one of the, I think it's 3, maybe it's only 2. I'm not 100% sure now, but it's 2-3 companies that we're working with this prototype, and this is one of the ideas. This will change quite a lot the final aspect of the tiles, and you will be able again to do some things that you actually lost when you did the change from the normal old rotocolor machines to the inkjet machines. So you had a better design, a better definition, but you lost a bit some of the deepness in the colors on the design. So that's something that we're working quite hard on that now. So we'll see. Our idea is just not for coverings. Unfortunately, we will not be arriving on time for that. But looking to Church, that will be the next exhibition, important exhibition that we hope it will be held. We should be presenting some items already produced with this kind of new technology.
I mean, that's very, very cool for a tile nerd like me that loves mixing glazes and things like that. So for people that don't work with kilns and glazes, inks they were a huge thing when inkjet came out in the year 2000. So I mean, that's going back a long time now. But what they lose in contrast to traditional glazes is the saturation and the depth of tone that you get, because it's such a fine layer. It's microns thick of these mineral pigments, whereas glaze can carry a much thicker saturation of mineral pigments. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. That's right. So you lose a lot in some kind of designs. You lose a lot, mainly with the strong colors or strong black. Even the black has been a quite thing to get with an inkjet actually, or even really strong saturated colors that we use in some of our designs. It's quite sometimes it's quite difficult to get them just with inks. So this will be
we still see
a major change actually.
We still see a lot of manufacturers actually putting down blacks and deep navy blues and things with rotocolor prior to or after their inkjet processes to get that saturation of tone. So being able to do it in one pass is a big deal.
It will be a bit advanced, a big advance on that. And then another thing that we're working also already for the last 2 years is some applications with this is a word a bit strange always, but it's glazed grit or granulas that we call it in Spanish, because normally you used to apply these kind of things normally two different ways. One was with the old flat screens. Another one was just to do a third fire tile, so you can do anything you want on top. So it's not difficult. But to do it in
but
a
that
normal
increases the price a lot.
In this case, what we're trying to do is to get a fair price, a good value per square meter. Don't go on the price per piece as it used to be with the third firing. And in this case, we're using also this kind of granulas, so glazed grit, with an inkjet. So actually, we're applying it with inkjet, with a different kind of inkjet. What you finally do is do like a 3 steps applying. You do an inkjet with glue, we would say, doing the design that you want to do. Then you apply the granula. Then you take out the excess of this granula, and then you apply another with the same design, a protection glaze on top of the granula. So in this way, you can do kind of third firing designs with this metallic, matte, or even glossy granulas, but on a normal production with a normal good value price at the end by square meter on this tile. So it's something that we have been doing for the last 2 years now. Also, again, not too many factories are going into that, because finally it's something that you have to be quite delicate with that.
It's very specialized,
not easy to do, but it's something that also gets always a better value to the tiles. That's something that we always try to get for that.
So again, for people that that aren't ceramicists, these granillas, they add volume to the surface, but they also modulate the surface finish. So you can use matte or metallic or glossy, as Jordi said, and have all of these different finishes within the same piece. And to be able to do that, we used to have to fire the tile multiple times because each of those had different firing temperatures. So being able to do that and protect it with a glaze and fire it all at once is a huge deal for the end consumer in terms of what they get in design and what the cost of that design is. So that's really exciting. The other thing, I know that you've got something exciting in terms of coatings and nano additives and things like that. That's been a huge boom in tile this year. And you know, especially with the shifting concerns of consumers in terms of A, environmentalism, and B, health and safety of the spaces that they're creating, and using tile as a benefit to improve the health and safety of their spaces. I know you've got some exciting things on that, so maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, we are working mainly in 2 lines of tiles. One of the lines that maybe is already known by the consumers is anti-slip glazes, but not like the old ones that were quite rough, so quite difficult to, both things that were quite difficult to clean and that normally you cannot use all along the way from inside to the outside of the house or the.
Yeah, because they almost felt like sandpaper, right?
Correct, actually, it was almost impossible to clean. I mean, if you have it outside on the grass, it's okay. But hard cleaning, and for sure you will not be able to do it inside of the house. So in this case of soft glazes, we're working in quite a big range of tiles that you can use indoors or outdoors, but with quite a good maintenance of the tiles. So that's one of the things we are doing this year, and we will present in coverings quite a big range of tiles in this way. And then the second is we were actually almost the first, but actually we were the seconds in Spain last year, end of last year, to launch one of the antibacterial glazes, the new generation of glazes, actually, because there were some kind of old antibacterial made on titanium technology. The new ones are based on silver technology.
Titanium dioxide, yeah.
So first of all, is safe for the human being to have this silver on the tile. First of all, it's nothing really toxic, and it's not a quantity that will be really, I would say, significant to have any interference with the human being. So
most importantly, it's encapsulated in the glaze, so it's not
correct.
bioavailable, correct?
Correct.
So not only does it not wear.
Correct. So that's the good thing. As it's encapsulated, first of all, it lasts the life that the tile lasts. I mean, it's in the whole part of the glaze. It's all over the glaze. So as far as the glaze is on that, if you don't wear the tile off like in 20 years, the antibacterial part of the tile will be always there. So will be always active and always on, we would say. Second difference between this new technology is that before you needed the sunlight to get that activated. The new one, you don't need sunlight, you don't even need light. So it doesn't matter if it's inside, outside, with lights on or off, it's always been active. And it's not killing. Actually, what it does is that doesn't allow the bacteria to grow. So as they doesn't allow the bacteria to grow, the bacteria just would say die finally on the surface of the tile without doing anything, not cleaning, not doing any maintenance on that in less than 24 hours. Actually, after 4 hours is almost 0.something% only of bacteria on the top of the tile. So it's something that probably for any consumer could be something interesting because finally you have a safe material in your house. But also when you come into places like hotels, restaurants, cafeterias, hospitals, it's
I mean, it's huge for public spaces when public health and liability and everything is concerned. I mean, I've walked through a couple of hospitals. I forget the name of it now. There's one hospital in Barcelona that's about 140 years old now, and everything in it is ceramic. You know, the hygienic and sanitary nature of ceramics have been known to us for centuries, and it's exciting to see that improved upon now. So so that's very, very cool.
Yeah, so we're trying to improve it with that, and also we're still waiting for a couple of tests, but probably for covering stock we will be able to certify also that it's not only antibacterial but it's also antiviral. So that's a thing that nowadays is quite concerning to everyone, and finally it's a plus that you will have on the tile. And also we have been quite conscious that the final price at the same time has to be something attractive to the customer.
So
what we're doing is just to increase the price to a normal tile is just a bit. I mean, it's not something massive as it used to be with this titanium technology before. So we're trying to keep a good value for the customer and at the same time give them a better value on safety on these materials.
Yeah, and I mean in a year where we've all worried so much, there's been so much worry and fear that, you know, just adding a little bit of peace of mind to the space that you're creating, whether it's for your employees or for your family, is a big value for people. So that's very, very cool. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and it's something that Realonda really excels in, is everyone thinks of tile. It's easy to think of tile for a backsplash or a shower or, you know, places like that. But ceramic has so many benefits that we've talked about a lot of them already today. And there's so many spaces outside of showers and backsplashes that we can use them. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about how Realonda thinks about designing products for spaces outside of the traditional.
Correct. Yeah, no, as we have a mind of doing some special tiles, not only just we would say like the normal ones, stone imitations or concrete imitations. We're always trying to put a bit of design on our tiles, and actually we are quite concerned once we market our tiles, and in all our images, so images on ranges, if we have let's say 4 different colors, we'll always try to apply them in different spaces in the house. So not only as we were talking
I've noticed that,
or kitchens, but also we would say like the back part where everybody sets up the TV on the dining room, and normally you just paint it, or even sometimes you use some wallpaper, as well as on the back part of the bed in the bedroom, on the main bedrooms. So this will give you some decorative space, but at the same time, in comparing to some other materials like painting, for example, wallpapers. Finally, the cleaning aspect is infinitely better in the way of having a tile or having a paint or having a wallpaper. Finally, you're going to clean it much better, and it's going to probably the wear will be much longer than with a wallpaper or with a painting. Also, lately we have. Sorry. Right.
It also really reduces the VOCs in a space.
Yeah.
One of the biggest contributors of indoor air pollution in a space is actually paint, despite how many improvements they've had in the paint industry. Doing something that's inert and inorganic like tile that doesn't absorb any odors actually really improves indoor air. So doing those three-dimensional decoratives like Realonda is known for is a huge thing.
Yeah, and then the last and quite famous lately way of using tiles is outdoors mainly. I mean, before outdoors we were using mainly stone or concrete or concrete tiles probably. So lately we are doing more and more outdoor tiles. In our part, we're doing some anti-slip tiles. Always porcelain, so in cold areas, you know, it's going to be frost-proof and it's going to be no problems like you may have actually with concrete tiles, for example, that they will always have some kind of absorption of water and some point they can break in time. So with porcelain tiles, that doesn't happen. You can do much more design than in this kind of concrete tiles as well. And at the same time, you always have this kind of anti-slip finishes that we do for the outdoor tiles, both the rough ones and the new soft glazes anti-slip. So they're using it more and more outside, as well as with the new thicknesses that we're coming with in the industry with the 12 with the 2 centimeters and 12 millimeters, 20 millimeters. So that's something that is gaining more and more a space for the tile industry. You know, the outdoors, the terraces, the gardens, and it's another possibility to take it out from the kitchens and the bathrooms.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the interesting thing about those exterior formats is, you know, the traditional materials. Everyone thinks of tile being heavy, but even in 2 centimeter thickness, a porcelain is a fraction of the weight of a natural stone paver or a cement paver, or even poured in place. So the decorative is better. The longevity of the product is better, and it's actually lighter and easier for the tradespeople and the structural engineering of the building as well. So, you know, there's just so many benefits in porcelain paving material. So that's exciting, Jordi.
Thank you, Ryan.
I hope everyone goes by the Realonda booth this year at Coverings, and if you're catching this on Facebook or YouTube or any other channel outside of the Coverings venue, please go check out Realonda's website. They do some incredible things. Jordi, thank you so much for your time. This was incredible here.
Thanks for your time. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. On behalf of Tile of Spain, this is Ryan Fasan, technical consultant for Coverings 2021. Welcome again to the Spanish Pavilion, and catch another Showstoppers coming up.